Thank you. Okay, so I've got a few pre-canned questions. We'll go through those and then maybe evolve it from there as needed, and you can fill me in on additional context. So let's start off with this question. How would you describe Conquest to someone who has never heard of it before?
So I would say that it is a next generation financial planning tool for advisors that want to optimize their clients' plans and help them deliver more complete plans in a fraction of the time. So that would be, if someone asked me why would I want to do that, I would say that's the biggest thing. It's going to give you a better quality plan. Your average client will get the average plan will be much better through the Conquest platform because of the SAM structure that was set up. So the strategic advice manager, it allowed me to serve more clients faster and have a better quality plan and be more engaging in the discussion with my clients. So it's very visually appealing for clients and for advisors, and it's well laid out with regards to their current financial situation, where the strategies are in the dashboard and planning cues, and then how to stress test the plan. That's the other big factor, is it's really taken stress testing to a new life. I talk about the if in life. So I often write that out. I'm trying to trademark it with IG, but I say, what can we do about the if in life? And the what ifs are, what if the market goes down? What if I don't get the rate of return I chose to do? What if I live longer? What if there's inflation? What if there's inflation and I live longer and the market goes down? You can layer them as much as you want to see what's happening at the end of the day. And I don't think enough clients talk about what can go right, but they don't often talk about what can go wrong. And you need both to have a good plan. So it's an enabler for advisors to uncover from the advisor perspective. So that's from a client perspective, but from an advisor perspective, I think it's a share a wallet story. It's going to help you uncover all of your clients' financial resources and assets and help you put a comprehensive plan together. And it should help you consolidate additional assets. And it will also help you save more for share of wallet. And so unlike other financial planning programs, some examples, when you have an income tax refund, this will proactively suggest, why don't you save a portion of it if you're predisposed to do it in your preferences? Or Brent, your mortgage is done in 2030, but it looks like you don't want to retire until 2040. Why don't you I know you don't want to take all $3,000 a month you're putting towards your mortgage today and save it, but you could save half of it and you could spend the other half. Like, wouldn't that be a good balance? So you're getting me to think about it 10 years in advance versus most financial advisors will only talk to you about it 12 or 24 months in advance, or maybe the day you pay off your mortgage, you'd say, now how much do you want to save and how much do you want to spend? And so I'm probably more likely to take that recommendation if it's been in my plan for the last 20 years or 10 years or 5 years. You're more likely to act on it, I think, than if you're just doing it as it comes. And some people won't even ask the question. From a dealer perspective, I'm hoping that we're asking our clients more questions and we're getting a larger share, because I can't guarantee, even though people are certified financial planners and they're highly qualified, they're not always going to ask, well, maybe do you want to save some of your tax refund? But in this case, you're putting it right in front of them. Or do you want to save after your mortgage is paid off? And so from a dealer perspective, I think you can drive up your savings rates. If 30% of your clients have a pre-authorized contribution, maybe this can get it to 40 or 50%. And if they're doing 200 a month, maybe this can drive it up to 300 a month, and so it's getting more people to participate and getting a higher share, I think, is what would happen as a result of this program.
That's awesome. You mentioned something in your comments about SAM. Tell me more about SAM and what SAM is to you and IG Wealth.
Right. So SAM gives us a portfolio of recommendations. If you are, there's a few different ways I like to work with the strategic advice manager. One is I want to remove my personal bias and just see what happens when you say auto plan. So you throw in the auto plan and see, like, in 3 minutes, what would come back to help you achieve your goals. And you can look at it and go, that feels a lot like me, or maybe it doesn't. But at least gives you something to start from for conversation purposes, or to get you thinking about what are the options that'll be most impactful to my client without my personal bias. So I know some people go right to expert planning mode. I actually don't. I hit auto plan and say, remove Brent's bias and see what the computer says. And there might be things in there that I know they won't do, like maybe downsize a home or whatever, and I can remove it, no problem. Very easy to hit the reset button after that and say, okay, now I'm going to go to expert planning mode or guided. Either one allows me to be very specific about and deliberate on the strategies I want to do. The hard part for me is a financial planner will have 50 or 100 common strategies in their head at any one time. but you may not always remember to apply them. And so I think that the strategic advice manager, the fact that it'll list you dozens of strategies on the side, that it will remind you, you should be considering this, or you should be considering that. Or oftentimes, I think, Stacie, we underestimate the impact of a 1 or 2% improvement, and we're dismissive of it, but it starts to compound on each other when you make smart decisions. So for example, what if I delay my Canada pension plan over time? Well, it's going to add 2% to my retirement, but that 2% delay now means if I want it, I can save less, or I can retire a little bit earlier, or I just have more buffer to withstand those what ifs at the end of the day. And if I make a 2% decision on that, and I get a 2% increase on my taxable retirement income optimization, and I get a 1% adjustment based on using a spousal RSP versus an RSP, each one on their own, as an advisor without it, you might go, it's not going to make a difference, I'm not going to include it. It's not going to make a difference, I'm not going to include it. When you actually layer them and go, I'm going to do A plus B plus C plus D plus E, now you're 10% ahead. And that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime, but you're not going to be able to see that if you didn't put it into the other systems. And the nice thing I like about it as well, the strategic advice, is the way that visually it flies from the left-hand side of the screen to the right-hand side of the screen. I love that, but it's really easy to undo. You undo it with a little delete button, and it goes back into the pool of options for the future if you want to address it at a later date. And so for me, I think testing the mix allows you a lot of freedom, but saves you a lot of time and a lot of thinking from an advisor. So you're just making it easier because you're serving it right up there for the individual.